would have it, um, YouTube to switch some stuff up, and like I didn't know how to start the show for real, for real. Like it wasn't the regular startup screen like it normally is, but it don't really matter. This is Throwback Thursday, the Daily Go Getimism show. Let's get real about relationships Thursday, and we are in motion. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? We are good. See, I couldn't even see none of this before I got started, so I couldn't set it up properly. And by my calculations, this ain't the first time this week that I've had to get started. Like with some, I wasn't ready yet, but we good because regardless of whether we're ready or we're not, we're ready and never not. So tonight we are talking about just be happy for them. Just be happy for them. I should have called it. Can't you just be happy for me? Can't you just be happy for me? So we talking about, when you know somebody, you like somebody, you love somebody that's just about to do the craziest, most reckless, non-well thought out. They're about to do something that you really don't approve of. And maybe it might turn out to be catastrophic, and maybe it just might not be a good idea. But they tell you, can't you just be happy for me? And you're like, I want to be happy for you, baby. I really do. But it's hard for me to do. I want to just hold you down, hold you close. But it's not going down right. Here's a dose of the medicine that you get searching for. I'm trying to make sure that you don't fall on the floor, but you seem hell bent to be on some other type of stuff, and I meant to give you a warning. I'm yawning and waking up at the break of dawn. Wait, I see that you're about to go onto the wrong floor. Roll like high Alamo. A lot of stuff on top, and it shouldn't be there, and I really care. And I see that you are serious, but you crazy, you must be delirious. Throwback Thursday, baby. Throwback, throwback Thursday, baby. Throwback Thursday, baby. Let me move this one over since I'm working with this one more. Okay. How y'all feeling? T. Carey, right, morning, night. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Cheryl Halsey, thanks for coming on. Just be happy for them. Just be happy. Just be happy for them. Just be happy for your friends. Just be happy. We got some surprises coming. We got some surprises for y'all tonight. Throwback, right? Well, let's throw it back to what we might have done last year. Maybe even earlier this year. You know what I mean? A throwback is a throwback. They didn't say how far back you have to throw it. You just gotta throw it, right? So let's go.
let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. I'm good with it. And it ain't over. I still got some surprises. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? Urban Therapy with Sun 752. With this is daily. It's the daily go get up, man. I'm sure you think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it is. We all here. We all can move. Do this thing. Take it all fast. Ain't no cold set. And everything is gonna be all right. We talk about cases. Just be happy for me tonight. They want to be your friend and they want you to support them when they on their way to the end. And you are having a hard time. I can't supply this grease and grind. I know that you're doing some destruction. Why are you acting like a suction cup on your way to the highway to hell? And you're gonna fail, and I can tell, but I don't want to be a part of this. But you are my peeps. So what the hell is this? I said, so that's what we talk about. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Can't you just be happy for me? Just be happy for me, son. You know what I'm saying? Lecturing me, telling me all of this stuff, discouraging me. You know how it is. Your little brother, your little sister, your older brother, your older sister. You know, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad that has had a substance abuse or a drinking problem, and and they have worked to get themselves right, worked to get themselves clean, worked to get themselves in a better place. And it seemed like they were going well. But then they come up with all of these crazy, they come up with this crazy idea or this thing that they're about to do. One thing, one thing that a person might do that they might ask you to support them in is like, how many of y'all know somebody, an old head that's close to you, male or female, but definitely a male? You know how like these old heads, these senior citizens, they pass the midlife crisis stage. They might be in their senior stage. Maybe they wife, maybe they widowed, maybe they've been divorced for a while. You know, they're at that. I don't want to say that those end stages of their lives, but they're definitely three score and 10 over. You know, three score is 60 and 10 is 70. So I'm talking the 70 something year olds sometimes might want to get with somebody like, I don't know, 30, 40 years younger than them.
30 or 40 years younger than them. And you like, granddad, what is you doing? Uncle this, Uncle that, Mr. This, Mr. That. What are you doing? You know, because you know that young girl want him for his money. And he don't care. He don't care. He talk about not only is he getting with the chick, she talk about she pregnant. This man 70 years old and got a baby on the way. Can't you just be happy for him? Can you just be happy for him? Can you? Huh? Can you just 70-year-old people just got a 30-year-old knocked up? Yes, 40 years his junior. And she pregnant, and he talking about marrying her and all this so crazy shit. The chick, you done met the chick, she's nice enough and all of that, but you know what it is. You know what it is. What you married a man 40 years older than 30 years old, 20 years old. Listen. You can't stop the rocket to be going down the way that it goes. But what you gonna do? Hate on the baby? Hate on the wedding? They gonna do this. And all you can do is really watch, because Mr. Dave, Mr. Bob, Mr. J, Mr. Rock, Mr. Pete, guys, evidently the plumbing's still working with Mr. Pete. So can't you just be happy for him? Can't you just be happy for him? I got a treat for y'all, man. Check this out. Check this out. Y'all listening? I need y'all to listen close. Check this out. Yeah. 2 a.m. grind, sun 752, feeling like a real man should. No sleeping, go get him isn't talk. Truth cutting through the fog, East Coast hard. No cat, no facade. This is where you come to have some fun and be on one. It's all about the human experience, everything under the sun. Every day roll with that sun 752 rhythm. Now what y'all think of that? It's my intro music. You hear that shit? Yo, people looking out, man. I didn't make that. I didn't make that. What y'all think? Want to hear it again? I want to hear it again. Let's hear it again. Yeah. 2 a.m. grind, sun 752, feeling like a real man should. No sleeping, go get him isn't talk. Truth cutting through the fog, East Coast hard. No cat, no facade. This is where you come to have some fun and be on one. It's all about the human experience, everything under the sun. Let's go get him in the every day roll with that sun 752 rhythm. Yeah. You know how that goes. Yeah, baby. We got more. You know, we just gonna sprinkle it for right now. We ain't gonna pour it. We ain't gonna empty it out. Pipples D's, what's good? What's good, man? How you feeling? I hope y'all feel like real men and women should, because I'm feeling like a real man should. Y'all know all day, every day. We are good. All right. So, welcome to the Daily Go Get It Missing. So y'all know, we are talking about, can't you just be happy for them? So we're talking about when somebody that you know and love, is about to do the craziest, most reckless, ridiculous. They just about to do something that's off the chain, something that's not really well thought out, something that they probably are doing off of emotion. When a person, how we were talking about how people take advantage of you when you're in mourning, or when you sometimes when you're not feeling well, when you're not in a state where you can really take care of yourself or make really good sound decisions. That's a lot of times when the vultures kick in, or the predators come through, or that's when you are most likely to make a catastrophic or just a ill thought out decision. So when you are forced to sit there and watch somebody make the worst decision of their lives, or at least a bad decision for the time, there ain't nothing you can really do about it. There's nothing that you can really do about it. You can advise them, and you probably already had. You probably already told them, like, yo, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't do that. But are they listening to you? No. No, they're not listening to you. They're going to do what they want to do because they are grown, and they feel like, you know, they are at a point in their lives where they can do what they want to do. They are adults. It would be different if you were talking about juveniles, if you were talking about kids where you really don't have the type of leverage or the type of influence over them, or just raw power to be able to stop them from doing whatever it is that they want to do. When you're talking about adults, you got to use your brain in order to stop them from doing certain things, because you know how adults get. How many of y'all know somebody, full grown adult, full grown adult with experience? I'm talking about somebody in their 30s, 40s. We ain't gonna talk about the 20s. We talking about somebody in their 30s or 40s. And when you know how people are sensitive when you don't agree with something that they want to do. When you know how it is when certain people have ideas in their head, and they really feel passionate about the ideas that they have. So they are really thinking about following through with this crazy thing that they want to do. And the more that you try to talk them out of it, or the more that you try to make them see the illogic in what they're doing, or the more that you try to divert their attention from what they're doing, or the more you try to tell them, like, yo, that is not smart. That's a dumb thing to do. You better not do that. That kind of fuels them and makes them want to do it more, because now they really want to prove to you that they do know what they're doing and that they can make it work. Yeah. Yeah. Some of y'all might be that way yourself. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I ain't no kid. You can't talk to me like that. And it really wouldn't matter how anybody talked to them. The bottom line is that they have an idea that they want to follow through with, and they're gonna follow through with it. So and they're gonna follow through with it. So any and everything that you say to them is gonna fall on deaf ears. That's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all doing pretty good. We slow getting in here, but we're gonna be all right. Y'all know how it is. We slow coming through, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be all right. But yeah, when you're dealing with somebody that's pig-headed, bull-headed, so the more you tell them that this is not a good thing to do, the more that they try to tell you that this is a great thing to do, and they're gonna do it. They will show you, and they're gonna show you all right. And you will be shown, and you're not gonna like what they're showing you, because you're an adult too, and you know better. Sometimes people are in a stage in their lives where they don't really want to do better. Let me back that up a little bit. It may not be that they don't want to do better, but they want to show you that they can make something happen outside of the conventional norm, or the so-called better way or easy way that you may be trying to advise them. Some people don't want your advice at certain times. And unfortunately, sometimes those are the people that need good advice more than anybody else. But everything that you're saying to them is falling on deaf ears. They ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't trying to hear nothing you talk about. And you might be mad and frustrated over that also. You know, like, I've never told you the wrong thing to do. I've always told you the right thing to do. I've always shown you the best way to do something, or the best of my knowledge. I've never steered you in the wrong direction. Why are you resistant? Well, people have their own thoughts and feelings and ambitions and goals and ideas in their mind, and they want to push them through. Shirley Shell, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shell, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, ma? What's going on, ma? Good to see me some you. Thanks for coming on through. It's the DG show. You know exactly how we do. So yeah, I got another example. How many of y'all have ever quit a job without having another job lined up? And even if you haven't done that yourself, I mean, I'm gonna say this. I'll say this. People who can do that, I will say that they are fearless. Because quitting a job without having another job lined up at all, I could see like if you've been going on interviews, you got some prospects. You've already gotten a job offer, or you know for a fact that another job is coming through. I could see like you getting frustrated with your current job and saying, you know what, I can't take this no more. My mental health is more important than this job. My mental health is more important than this money. But not but staring down the barrel of your last check and it ain't no other check coming in for who knows how long because you don't have no job lined up. And I've seen people do this and they got kids. I don't know how you can do it. My heart would be beating out of my chest. So it's one thing to get fired from a job, but it's a whole different thing to want to give your job your ass to kiss because you just had enough of them. Like, nope, I'm out of here. You went and quit your job. You got 2 kids, 3 kids. What you mean you quit your job? You know how many people quit their job and they don't know that you can't quit a job and get unemployment? Like, so let me get this straight. You didn't even think out whether you should quit this job or not. Okay, let's take it a little farther. Let's say you know somebody who quit a job so they can start hustling themselves. So they want to get their entrepreneurial thing going on. So they quit their job because they're going to start a catering service or they're going to sell t-shirts or they're going to sew or they're going to iron people's clothes or some kind of hustle that, you know, landscaping, they cutting grass. Or they said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just drive Uber. I'll drive Uber until I make as much money as my check was bringing in. And I can do that while I look for another job. I know one person, I know at least one person that quit well, no, they didn't quit their job. They got fired from their job. And that's what they cut grass and did landscaping and that kind of shit. Were they really good at it? No, but they was getting jobs. And they drove Uber. Now the funny thing about this thing is that this person that I'm talking about wasn't really an energetic person. I can see if you say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna drive Uber and I'm gonna make ends meet that way. I can see if you're the type of person that is a stone cold hustler, the type of person that'll stay up late at night and and get that paper. This person that I'm talking about, they wasn't like that. As a matter of fact, on jobs they were quite lazy. So I couldn't stop them from getting fired from their job, but I was telling them like, yo, watch out at work because when you're having problems with your supervisor or your manager or whatever, that's never a good sign. That's the kind of stuff that can have you out on the streets and you don't want to be there. But was he listening? Nope. But anyway, let's say you know somebody that quit their job and didn't have another job lined up, but they telling you that when one door closes, another door opens. I mean, it's true, right? They say when God closes one door on you, then he opens another door for you. Right? Huh? 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 What up, Oakland? What's good? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, when God closes one door, then he opens another door for you, right? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I guess you are forced to just sit there and be happy for them. Unless you got a job to give them. But why would you give them a job when you see how they handle? Yo, man, some people will quit. How many of y'all know people who always are getting another job? Like they just run through jobs like it, whether it's good jobs or bad jobs or jobs you wouldn't want to do or whatever. They get jobs like people get mosquito bites in the bayou. They get jobs like people get mosquito bites in the bayou. You know what I'm talking about. You say down in the bayou, man. I'm talking about down in Florida, down in Mississippi, down in New Orleans, and New Orleans. So, yeah, some people will quit a job at the drop of a hat. Well, I ain't like that job, so I quit. Yeah, but you didn't have another job. Yeah, but I'm gonna get a job. You know what I mean? Just be patient. I just like I got this job, I'll get another job. Reckless, frivolous, and really that's kind of selfish, if you ask me. Quitting a job without having another job is kind of selfish. If you have children or if somebody is dependent on you for your financial contribution, not necessarily financial support, but your financial contribution. But people have done it. Some of y'all may have done it. It happens. You know what I mean? You get into an argument with your boss. Something, kiss my ass. I'm out of here. I ain't gotta put up with this shit. I'll get another job. But right now you ain't got no job. So hopefully you quit during a pay period. Because if you quit during a non-pay period, that next check gonna be your last check. At least if you quit during a pay period, if you get paid every 2 weeks, like most jobs pay, then at least you got another check coming. You got one in the hole waiting for you. But like I said, I think that's a scary situation. Prepucio, Prepucio, Sanchez, what's good, my dude? Como estás? Como estás? Yeah. Que bueno. Que bueno. Mi amigo. But yeah. So people quitting their job, don't have no other job lined up. They fearless, reckless, and selfish. Fearless, reckless, and selfish. They just like going to ride it out. When I was doing comedy, I knew a lot of cats that quit their job and they said, I'm gonna do comedy full time. Just be happy for me. Some of them did it, and it worked out. But one thing about comedy for sure. Once you become a funny comic, you're good to go. This is an anonymous caller. This is not going to work out well. But let's do it anyway.
You have a call from
anonymous caller.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you some fat black woman, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's some advice you would give?
I'm not giving no advice. Tell your story. See, you get better at this job. And they call in, they troll and call in, and they're not even really ready. They're like, I thought I didn't think he would answer the phone. I thought he would hang up. And like, they don't even know what to say. Bad troll. Bad. You know what? I haven't broke out the triangle in a while. Just be happy for me. Just be. Yeah. What? Yeah. Gotta bring out the triangle sometimes, yeah. Gotta bring out the triangle. But yeah. So if anybody's ever told you that they were about to quit their job and they don't have another job lined up, more than likely you tried to advise them not to quit their job. But they wasn't trying to hear that. They wasn't trying to hear nothing that you was talking about. I'll get another job. And when we talk about, just be happy for them, or if they asking you to just be happy for them, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I can't. How am I going to be happy when you putting yourself and you putting yourself in a financial hole? Not only that, but you might be living with somebody that's expecting you to pay half of the rent or the utilities or whatever bills that are going on, and you ready? You done quit your job. You didn't have to quit your job. You could have kept your job, but you chose to quit your job. And now when it's time for those bills to get paid, you're going to be saying, well, I don't have it this month, or, I have it on this date or that date, or I got a job interview lined up, or I just applied over here, or this person is going to hook me up and all of that. See, that's where the selfish part comes in. And this is the reason, this might be one of the reasons why you can't just be happy for them. This might be one of the reasons why you can't just be happy for them. You want to be happy for them, but you just can't do it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Can't you just be happy for me? Can't you just be happy for me? Can't you just be happy for me, yo? Just hold me down. I quit my job today, but I'ma be around. Yo, I'll be down for a second, but I'ma be right back, and I'll be rich, I reckon. This is just a little period in my life, but I'm serious, and I'ma get it right, straight. And stress is not the thing that I be fostering. But I had to quit because I can't beat the boss to them. And they can't beat the boss to me. I had enough of this. I had to free my mind and get with bliss. And the bliss is not coming so fast enough. And I realize that life is hard, it's kind of tough. It reminds me of Chuck State. And it be hard for me sometimes just stay awake. For God's sake, deliver me from evil. I'm trying to make this jump like Evel Knievel. And I'm going over jumping the shark. And I'm tired of the shit a nigga ain't scared of the dark. I've embarked on a new career. But I had to let this one go right over here. Yeah, cheer for me. Be happy for me. Celebrate me. Celebrate you, do. I can't do it. You are really stupid as hell and get to it. The bag is something that you never really had a value for. And I'm wondering how you gonna make another score. You will whore for attention. I can get with this shit. Your lines up extension. Yo, if you don't have no interviews line, I ain't know how you're gonna play rent this time. And it's time for you to shine and do another set of example for motherfuckers act like the shit is ample. You got trampled by a horse. Yeah, I said it now. Okay, all right, we good? We good? Hit that like button, y'all. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, 752. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about, can you just be happy for him? Just be happy for him. It's harder and harder to just be happy for somebody that's playing themselves or that's diving off the deep end when they can't swim. When there's somebody that is close to you and that you know should know better or definitely can do better. It's always the ones that have the best, the most potential. It's always the ones that have the most potential that act like they don't want shit out of life. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Because y'all quiet as shit tonight. I'm like, y'all not talking tonight? That's all right. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. I talk to you. But it seems like it's always the ones that have the most potential in this life that act like they don't want nothing out of life. It's always the ones that seem like they have the most going on. It's always the ones that are the most intelligent, the ones that are smart, the ones that can catch on really easily, the ones that act like all of the knowledge that's in their head means nothing. You know, they want to do something crazy. Instead of wanting to be a doctor or a lawyer, a businessman, some type of successful community leader. Instead of wanting to do that, they want to be a thug. They want to experiment with drugs. They just want to lay around all day. They want to work at Family Dollar. Shout out to anybody and everybody that works at Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Y'all know, tariff time. We don't have it. Don't nothing cost $1. We in tariff time, y'all. Nothing is $1 in the dollar store. We're in tariff times, y'all. Nothing is $1 in the dollar store. I don't know if it's ever going to return to it, to be honest with you. I don't know if we're going to return to that, to be honest with you. Yeah, just be happy for them. Just be happy for them. Your sister's about to marry a bum. A bum. She about to marry a motherfucker that don't have shit. Ain't got nothing going on for himself. He ain't bringing nothing to the table. He ain't even bringing a tablecloth to the table. Not even plastic spoons, forks, knives, or paper plates to the table. He ain't bringing a pack of napkins to the table. Bounty towels, hefty. He ain't bringing none of that to the table. He ain't bringing nothing to the table but a healthy appetite. And he's ready to get fat. So let's look at it. So your sister is in love with a bum. You know he a bum. Your mom know he a bum. Your brothers and sisters know he a bum. Cousins, aunts, uncles know he a bum. Neighbors, co-workers, children, they all know this dude is a bum. But this dude evidently been blowing this chick back out. He is blowing her back out. And now she can't see the forest through the trees. Yes. He hitting it from the back, pulling her hair. He pulling her hair and hitting it from the back. Uh, uh, uh. Oh. Well, that's what he brought it. That's what he brought to the table. He brought his dick to the table. And he about to, and she about to marry this boy. Can you just be happy for her? Huh? Can you? Can you just be happy for her? Can you? I mean, why not? Okay, hold on. Propusio says, I work similar jobs. Hard to make a dollar. Hard to make a dollar holler in 2025. Word. Word. Shirley Show says, that blew my mind. Dollar store with $5 and $10 items. Yeah, dollar store is done. Ain't nothing in that shit. Well, Family Dollar never was a dollar store. They just had dollar in the title. None of that should be a dollar. I don't remember anything ever being a dollar in Family Dollar. But Dollar Tree, everything was a dollar. That shit was a real dollar store. Dollar Tree, that was my mom's spot. Dimple says, no, you're not wrong. You have the right to your opinion. I'm just saying. Your sister, or your really good girlfriend is about to marry a straight bum. Can't you just be happy for her? And you know this nigga is a bum. She's paying for the wedding. Justice of the peace, whatever, however they doing, she paying. He ain't bringing nothing but a big dick and porno skills to the table. And she about to marry that. Can't you just be happy for me? 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 just be happy for me? Can't you 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 just be happy for me? You know that this girl's gonna be crying in 6 months. Why did I marry this? Why did I marry this man? Why did y'all let me marry this man? Why didn't nobody say nothing? You couldn't see the forest for the trees. You wasn't trying to hear nothing nobody was saying. You wasn't trying to hear nothing. Halsey said no. Propucio says you can always pray for her either way. Woo! Tipple says, yes, everybody need a stronghold every now and then. Oh, is that what that says? Stronghold? Stronghold? And Majority Whip said, Mike Tyson. Where? Tell Mike to come through. We're going to do an interview. Tyson in? Where the man at? What a bull, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. Can't you just be happy for them? Yo, y'all real light on the poll. Please answer the poll question. Answer the poll question. We only got 10 votes on the poll question. Please participate in the poll. Are you able to support someone who you like or love when they do something foolish? Are you able to support somebody who you like or somebody who you love when they about to do some dumb shit? Majority Whip says you look like Mike. No, I don't. Mike Tyson got like wild eyebrows. He has a certain kind of look. I guess you just see a black man with a bald head and a little bit of size to him. You know what I mean? I guess yeah, that just means Mike Tyson. Does Mike Tyson even have hair on his face? Does he? Let me see. Recent pictures. When Mike Tyson might have a little hair on his face, right? Let me see. When he fought the bull, he does. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. Mike Tyson is 59 now. 59 years old. He's in good shape for a 59-year-old. That's for sure. Born in Fort Greene. Brooklyn. Interesting. Interesting. Me and him are the same height. We're both supposed to be 5'10". Majority Whip says, you look like you could be his older brother. He's 3 years older than me, sir. I mean, no, he's 4 years older than me. 4 years older than me. I don't look older than Mike Tyson. Like I'm looking at Mike Tyson. I'm looking at his pictures. Let's see. This is the current Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson does not look younger than me. So I do not look like I could be Tyson's younger brother. I mean, Tyson's older brother. So I'm just saying. Oakland says he looks like Bernie Mac if he was 50 years older and bald. The hell? I ain't mad at Mike, but me and Mike Tyson don't look alike. Either way, no way you slice it. Like even with no hair on his face, Tyson don't look young. His body does. His body looks young, but he doesn't have a young face. Like he looks like an old man with a young body. He looks like he got an AI body. It looks like somebody AI'd his body and kept his head in his face. But shout out to Mike Tyson, because I ain't mad at it. Not at all, son. Not at all. Okay. But yeah, back to the matter at hand. Like I said, your sister about to marry a bum, and can't nothing stop it. Ain't nothing getting in the way. She's not trying to listen to reason. She ain't trying to hear nothing that nobody is trying to say. Nobody. Nobody. You said he's about to end this stream. No, I'll just get rid of you. Why would I end the stream? Why would I end the stream? I'll just end you. You know, I mean, you're not really causing no problems, but I would definitely end you before I would allow, like, you know what? I played that first theme song. Let me see what y'all think about this one. See what y'all think about this one. What y'all think about that one? Shirley Cheryl says, that sounds really nice. I like what you did there. That's what's up. All right, we got one more. See what y'all think of the last one. See what y'all think about the last one. Yeah. 2 a.m. grind. 2 a.m. grind. Sun 752. Feeling like a real man should. No sleeping. Animism talk. Cutting through the fog. East Coast hard. No cap, no facade. This is where you come to have some fun and be on one. It's all about the human experience. Everything under the sun. It's the daily. Daily Go Get American Show. Daily. Every day roll with that Sun 752 rhythm. It's the daily. Nope, these are all for the Daily Go Getimism. All right, so we're gonna play the first one first. The one we played in the beginning, because a lot of people wasn't here. So the first one and the third one are similar. Yeah. 2 a.m. grind, Sun 752, feeling like a real man should. No sleeping, go getimism talk, truth cutting through the fog, East Coast hard. No cap, no facade, this is where you come to have some fun and be on one. It's all about the human experience, everything under the sun. Yeah. Every day roll with that Sun 752 rhythm. So those are the three. So yeah, Kim's Whims made those. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. I didn't ask for it. I didn't know it was coming. She saw a need, dropped them on me. So I was like, well, who did the rhyme? She was like, I did the rhyme. I was like, how'd you do the rhyme? That ain't your voice. She made it happen. So I'm very thankful, mad thankful for that. Matter of fact, good looking out, Tim. You ain't here right now, unless you're in the background. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, mucho. That's a good look. That's a good look. And I was like, when did you make this? Where'd you get this from? Oh, shit. The dude who called in, I thought I blocked him. Motherfuckers be slipping through the cracks, yo. They be straight slipping through the cracks, but it's all good. I'm gonna just be happy for them. Can we just be happy for them? Can we? Can we? Good looking out, Cheryl Halsey. Appreciate you. You already know. Back to the matter at hand. Yeah. When you are cool with somebody, when you like somebody, when somebody is close to you, and you see them about to make this crazy ass decision, when you see that they're about to go down this rabbit hole, you know that's everybody has their ideas of what might work, what should work, you know. And when you know better and you see somebody that really doesn't seem to know better, like I hate to use this example, but I'm gonna use this example. Imagine with the people who work with Donald Trump have to be thinking on a regular basis. Can you imagine the frustration? Because they make it seem like they're all on board with that shit that he does, and you know they're not. You know they're not. But he don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. He thinks that his ideas are the best, and so he's going to try them. Mainly because he's working with house money. He ain't losing no money. He's done nothing. He's done nothing but make millions and millions off of his presidency. But imagine being around Donald Trump when he says, "Well, yeah, I think we should do this. We should implement these tariffs, or we should just unleash ICE on immigrants and just and put them out of the country, or we should cut off Social Security or health care, or cut off aid to places where we've been giving away food and stuff like that." You know, I mean, can you imagine what being around him has to be like? You like, and you got to do it. He's the president of the United States. He has all the power, and he abuses his power. So you just have to act like you're on board. And when the shit doesn't end catastrophically, you got to act like you knew that it was a good idea all along, and you know damn well you didn't feel that way. Can't you just be happy for him? Can you? Can you? Now, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, you can't argue that he's successful in a lot of things that he does. But I mean, you have to admit that he has to be one of the luckiest people that you've ever heard of. Because that shit he be talking about, that ain't it. That ain't it. But can't you just be happy for him? Can't you just be happy for him? Can't you just be happy for him? I know that being one of his aides or one of his being one of his cabinet members or whatever, it has to be frustrating as hell. Imagine being one of his aides or cabinet members or appointees, and he said, "Go out there and tell them that the Epstein files don't exist." After we literally told them that they do, tell them that they don't. Like, yo, Mr. President, I can't. What do you mean you can't? I need you to go out there and you just say what I tell you to say. Can't you just be happy for him? Yo, Pam Bondi, go out there and tell them that the Epstein files don't exist. But Mr. President, I'm on tape saying that the files were on my desk, ready for me to review, and that you had told me to do it. So what? Go out there and tell them that it was all a hoax. The Epstein files don't exist. And I need you to do it like you mean it. Do it like it's true. Tell it like it's the truth. Oh my god, these cats are so funny. You are hilarious. You are hilarious. You should pursue a career in being a class clown. I think you would do well. You could be like the class president clown, class clown president. You could pioneer something that hasn't been done before. I support it. And I'm going to be happy for you. Can't you just be happy for them? Can't you just be happy for them? Oh my gosh. Any of y'all know somebody that dropped out of high school? See, knowing somebody who dropped out of high school is one thing, but going to school with somebody who dropped out of high school is a whole different thing. When the high school dropout is a friend of yours, somebody that you know well, somebody that you hung with or that you hang with, and they're telling you that they're going to drop out and just get a job. They got a good job lined up. Or a popular thing these days, I'm going to drop out of school and work on my music. I'm about to drop my mixtape next week. My man, my brother Keith Tyler was good. My brother Keith Tyler, maybe you know something about this. Hey Keith, how much do rappers be making off a mixtape? How does the mixtape game go? When you get a mixtape, when you put a mixtape together and you put it out there for the streets, how much can you expect to make? Because I'm thinking like on some of the tracks on your mixtape, you're paying artists who are signed already. You got to pay them. Now they'll work for a cheaper price because if they're signed to a label already, they don't want the label to know that they're doing a song or a mixtape because the label is going to take all of the money. So what? And I know this from the one time I hung out with Petey Crack. You know Petey Crack from State Property, whatever. And he told me, so what we do is we just tell the label that we made that track with them before we ever got signed. So he might get paid like, a few thousand, $5,000. Yeah, come do my mixtape for $5,000. How much can you make on a mixtape though? How much does a mixtape have to sell to whereas you can recoup some money? Or are you just putting the mixtape out there so you can create a buzz so you can get signed by a major label? You know anything, Keith? What you know? So your man's in them about to drop out of high school so he can work on his music. He's dropping his mixtape next week. Can't you just be happy for him? Keith says it's not much. I need to know how much. I need to know how much, not much you get. Because if it's not much is enough, I'm drop my mixtape next week. Like what? My mixtape coming, baby. My mixtape coming. I need numbers. You said 1,000 and up. That's how much you gonna make on your mixtape? Well, damn. What you doing? Giving them away? Because you drop your mixtape nowadays, you're not even putting out CDs or selling CDs, so you got to put them on your on all streaming platforms, as they say. All streaming platforms. That means iTunes, Spotify. What are the other platforms that they talk about? All streaming platforms. Let me see. What are the names? What are the names of all the streaming platforms? Okay. Netflix, Amazon, Prime Video, Disney, Hulu, HBO Max, and YouTube TV. Other notable platforms include Peacock, Paramount Plus, specialized services like Crunchyroll, Curiosity Stream. Maybe I ought to say music platforms. Because I know they're not talking about these when they talk about all streaming platforms. What are the names of the musical streaming platforms? Okay, now this makes sense. Some of these I never heard of. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, Tidal, Pandora, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, iHeart, Qobuz, Ngami, Ghana, and Indagio. Hmm. Y'all know all of those? Gotta drop my mixtape, y'all. Keith, I need your help. Help me drop my mixtape. Well, help me make my mixtape. You know what I mean? It's time for you to put your equipment back to use. Break them 1200s back out, man. The real ones, not those not those CD, those CD tables. I need a real needle. I need vinyl. I need needle and vinyl, son. And Keith says some people just I'm sorry, some people just want to be hurt. Hurt or heard? Is that heard or hurt? Well, what I'm saying is dropping out of high school is never a good decision. I don't think it is. But maybe y'all can help me out. Have you ever heard of somebody dropping out of high school for a good reason? Because I don't want to be narrow-minded about it. Maybe there is some, maybe there's some hidden reason for dropping out of high school that I never thought of before. You ever know somebody? What are some good reasons to drop out of high school? Because if y'all give me some good reasons, then I can find a way to be happy for them. Be happy for these high school dropouts. Beauty school dropout. Go back to high school. Hmm? Anybody? Good reasons for dropping out of high school. Now the old heads back in the day would tell you that they dropped out because they had to get a job so they could feed their family. Maybe their mom passed, or wasn't able to work or something like that, and they basically had to take on the role of providing for the family, and that's male or female. But you hear about it more with men than you do with women. Confucio says, raising a baby not a good reason, but a must do for some, or the lottery ticket winning musicians. Having a baby is definitely not a good reason to drop out of high school. Having a baby is the worst reason for dropping out of high school that you can have. Because you're going to need that high school diploma in order to provide for your child. No. I'm thinking you're going to need a high school diploma to provide for your children. Dr. Darnell, what's good? And since you have a PhD, Dr. Darnell, have you ever heard of a good reason to drop out of high school? Or do you know of a good reason to drop out of high school? I'm sure that you've known people who have dropped out of high school. I'm trying to figure out if there could be a good reason to drop out of high school. Because I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it. Capuccio says my parents both dropped out when they had me. Mom got a job, dad went into the service. Not the ideal situation for sure. He got into the service without a high school diploma, so that was back in the day. Let me see. Let's see. When did the armed services start requiring a high school diploma in order to enter? Wow. The armed services generally started requiring a high school diploma or GED in the mid to late 70s, with the Army, Navy, and Air Force making this a more formal requirement. This shift was driven by the recognition that high school graduates were more likely to complete their initial term of service. While there have been some exceptions in temporary programs, a high school diploma or equivalent is now a standard requirement for enlistment in most branches. So, in the it says in the 60s, in the late 60s and early 70s, the military began prioritizing high school graduates for enlistment. I know for a fact that you could get into the army without a high school diploma in the 60s. Maybe not in the late 60s, but definitely in the earlier 60s. Dr. Darnell says the generation before the boomers did very well with limited schooling. Yes, but I'm talking about what would be a good reason for dropping out of high school. It's like whatever happens after the fact is what happens after the fact. But what would be considered, what could you be convinced is a good reason to drop out of high school? Because I wouldn't give a shit if I won the Powerball. That still wouldn't be a good idea, a good reason for me to drop out of high school. Because there's the whole thing about a fool and his money soon partying and all of that. And I've seen it happen. Now, I can see a good reason to drop out of college because you don't need college for most jobs, and you don't need college in order to make it out here in this world. Now, I'm definitely pro college through and through, 100%. Any child of mine gotta go. No getting out of that. But high school, that's a requirement. Like, I can't think of a good reason. See, there's a difference between a reason and a good reason. Like, because a good reason is a reason that I would agree with. Like, yeah. I mean, a good reason to drop out of college, you got a music career or acting career, a career in entertainment or anywhere else. Like, let's say you were going to college, like the group Das Effects. Y'all remember the group Das Effects back in the 90s? Well, both of them met at Virginia State University. That's where they went to school. Wait a minute, because it was either Virginia State or Virginia Union. What college did the group Das Effects meet each other at? Virginia State. So they both went to Virginia State University, and you know they were rapping together. They started getting real good, and they got a contract with the Hit Squad, with EPMD. So I could see dropping out for that reason. Like I'm already getting paid. Athletes who go to college, they enter the draft into the NBA or the NFL. Yeah, that's a good reason to drop out of college. You're about to go make millions. Yes, good reason. Sure, there are plenty of athletes who go ahead and graduate, even go back and get their master's degree, like a Jalen Hurts, like a Devontae Smith. Yeah, the Eagles, they got scholars on their team. They different. So, but I could see, you have a chance to make all of this money or whatever, and that's all you were going to college for in the first place. You weren't going to go get a degree. You were going there on a basketball or football scholarship, and your dreams and ambitions was to make it into the NBA or the NFL. So yeah, once you get a chance to go ahead and enter the NFL or the NBA, that's a good reason to drop out. But other than that, we talk about high school. Now the NBA used to take high school graduates in the NBA draft. No more. Now you have to go to college at least 1 year. All right, let me see what y'all talking about. Dr. Darnell says education comes in many forms. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And so does ignorance, unfortunately. Ignorance comes in many, many forms. More forms than education does. Propulsio says he may have got a GED because it was the 70s. Okay. And he also says, but I know he didn't have a diploma. Well, now a GED is a high school diploma. After the fact, it doesn't even matter. That's why they say a GED, or a high school diploma or equivalent. The equivalent is a GED. Dr. Darnell says education elsewhere within family business, home education, etc. And you consider those to be good reasons for dropping out of high school? Hmm. Dimple D says there is no good reason to stop your education, but people do have their own personal reasons to follow their goals in life. Yeah, I'm just asking for what we would consider to be a good reason for dropping out of high school. High school, not college, high school. High school. Capuccio says, I didn't know why it was such a big, big, you probably mean a big deal. I didn't know why it was such a big deal when I graduated high school. My folks never told me they dropped out. I think my grandma told me. Oh, so they were really celebrating, like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh boy. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. And it's a good thing that your parents wanted you to graduate and didn't say, well, I didn't get a high school diploma and I turned out all right. Because some parents look at it that way. So I'm glad that your parents weren't that way. Roblox, Visco, what's good? Viscos, what's good? Dr. Darnell says most things you learn that need you can learn at home or in primary school. No, not really. I disagree with that. With the whole homeschooling thing, I disagree with homeschooling. Only because homeschooling is only as good as the home teacher. And one thing that homeschooling does that people try to discount or minimize or whatever is the social aspect. When you are homeschooled, you don't learn how to interact with other students, people. And you're going to have to do that at any job that you work at in life, and you're going to need to develop those interpersonal skills. It's very hard to learn interpersonal skills when you're homeschooled. Now, of course, people are going to contest that and say, no, you may still be a sociable person and you can still be taught how to interact with other people, but you're not learning how to interact with other people in a learning environment. You're crossing that part out. So that's why I disagree with homeschooling. Not only that, with homeschooling, you don't get the like people try to discount gym class, but you really can't discount it. It's an important class. Physical ed and health class, they go together. They go together. And homeschooling, you're probably not going to get that. Of course, we'll rationalize it and say, well, no, because we still play basketball. We got our physical. We had our physical. The physical part of whatever. Like it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm not for homeschooling, and the proof that homeschooling is definitely not the best way is look at what happened in 2020 when we had the quarantine lockdown and all of the kids had to stay home and basically be homeschooled. It fucked them kids up. It fucked them up. It fucked the parents up. They wasn't built for that. There's definitely an adjustment period. But those are my opinions. I'm not for homeschool, and I still don't think that that's a good reason to drop out of high school. I'm still concentrating on that. My question was, what would be a good reason? A good reason for dropping out of high school? I can't think of any. Honestly, I can't think of any good reasons to drop out of high school. College, plenty of good reasons to drop out. Even if the reason is money. Well, yeah, I didn't have enough money. I couldn't get the financial aid that I needed, and I didn't want to take out any big. I didn't want to take out any loans that I didn't think I was going to be able to pay back, so I dropped out. It's not the best reason, but that's college. High school. In high school, you don't learn but so much in the first place. You think you do until you go to college, and and then you have to learn at an accelerated rate. There's a reason why people who never went to college think that college don't matter because they never went. They think they know enough. Just saying. Dr. Darnell says, if your intelligence is beyond high school, why sit there to make to make to make as, or I guess you mean to make a move into things that challenge you, or move into things. Uh, I don't know about y'all, but I know a lot of high school dropouts, and they was not geniuses. That's not the reason they dropped out in the first place. It's not. It's not the reason they dropped out in the first place. So Evelyn Royston says a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Knowledge is power. Yes, it is. Totally agree. Totally agree. And she says, can you believe most of the stuff they taught didn't help me in life? My parents taught me better, but I did finish and went to college. My mother never went to school, and my dad only made it to the third grade. Damn. If I only had a third grade education, I would be fucked out here in this world. And for the reasons that I was saying, in high school, we we always look at the things that we learned in high school like they not going to help us in life, but we don't realize the ways that they did help us. Like you think about math class, you think about math class, and you think like, well, when am I ever going to use algebra in life? When am I ever going to use elementary functions or trigonometry or even geometry in life? Well, maybe not geometry. People seem to respect geometry, but people don't think that algebra will help them in life. But what they don't realize is that any math course that you take helps you be smarter. And the reason that it helps you be smarter is because math, as math becomes more advanced, it won't allow you to skip over processes in order to get to the answer. The more advanced the math, the more you have to learn the techniques in order to get to the answer. So once you get out of basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, then you have to go through certain processes and steps in order to get to the answer. And that actually makes your brain smarter because you learn that there's a process of things instead of thinking that you can just go from here to here without going in here, which is what we try to do. People who get frustrated with math are people who lose patience because they don't want to follow steps. People who are good at math are normally good at a lot of other things in life because they realize that first I have to do this, second I have to do that, third I have to do that, fourth I have to do that, and then I get here. Sometimes people who are good in math will struggle in English because English doesn't make sense. And math is universal. So whether you know how to speak English or not, the numbers are the same. They're the same in the United States. They're the same in Europe. They're the same in Asia. They're the same in Africa. They're the same in Australia. They're the same in the North Pole, South Pole, out in any island, out in the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, the seven seas. It's the same. It's universal. English is not like that. English is tougher than all of the other languages, and it doesn't make sense. So we use a lot of the things that we learned in high school. We just didn't learn how to apply them. And think about it, a lot of us got through classes in high school without learning shit. We cut class, we cheated on tests, we got people to write papers and take exams for us. We some of us kissed the ass of the teacher and got grades that we didn't deserve. So a lot of us got pushed through. We didn't, we can blame the school or the teachers all we want. We didn't value the learning. Let me see. Uh, Dr. Darnell says 80% of what you learn in high school you will not need in life. I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree. Mainly for the reasons that I just told you. And it's hard to account for what kind of life you will. 80% of what you learn in high school you will not live in. You will not use in your. I don't believe in useless knowledge. Everything you learn builds a pathway in your brain. It builds a pathway in your mind. And the more ways that you are able to think, the more options that become available to you because you learn to think. College only teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to figure out things. High school prepares you to be able to learn how to think. So, just saying. Evelyn Royston says, my parents were well taught people. They taught bosses about life. They made money. And I'm sure that you're right about that. The thing is, when we reduce everything, we have this tendency to reduce everything that we need in life down to the almighty dollar. And I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem. We got a lot of rich dummies out there. But people think that people are smarter because they have money. If it wasn't for money, Donald Trump wouldn't be president. He's awfully rich, but is he the smartest man that you know? Is he the smartest man that you've seen? Is he the smartest president that you've ever known? Some people might say yes. I would say hell no. Definitely not the smartest. He's not dumb, but he's not smart because of his money. His money gives him power to rule over people and power to control people. Doesn't have anything to do with his intelligence, but people think you gotta be on the ball some kind of way in order to make $1 billion. And I don't disagree with that. It doesn't make you the smartest though. And it definitely doesn't make you the best example. All right. Propucio says, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are many reasons why people drop out. Some justified, some necessary, but good, that's subjective and dependent upon individual opportunities, I suppose. Evelyn says, math helped me keep up with my money. Of course it does. You know what I mean? People who went to high school that really don't know how to count, they don't know how to do math. I've seen them. Seen them at the restaurant trying to figure out how much do we leave as a tip? And that's the easy math. Like, okay, 20, leave them 20%. Like, what are you doing with the fingers? You don't know how to do it with a pen and paper. You think you're gonna do an air pen? Come on, 20% of 100 is $20. Lucio says some people are simply simply don't have the aptitude for certain subjects like math or English. Therefore, it may not be the path that the child should be geared towards. The thing is, math and English are the most important classes in school. Hands down. Hands down. You gotta know. English teaches you how to read. The better reader you are, you can learn anything if you can read. People who struggle in reading struggle in everything. You have to know how to read well. If you don't know how to read well, you're almost reduced to an animal. And that's not even a diss, that's just reality. The one thing that human beings can do that animals cannot do is communicate through verbal language and the written word. Now, people who don't understand what I just said will try to say animals can contribute by talking to each other. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. Human beings directly talk to each other all day. You will not find cats meowing to each other. You will not find dogs barking to each other. Barking at each other, yes, but not barking to each other. They communicate in other ways that we don't even fucking know. But it ain't through a verbal language. Human beings use a verbal language and a written language. We are the only species on earth that does that. When you can't read, you can't figure out a lot of things that you need to know. It's a serious handicap not to read, not to be able to read. That's why people who can't read think that people who can read have everything that they need. And they do, compared to a person who can't read. Now, you take a person who can't read well and you put millions of dollars in their account. What normally happens when that happens? Because I'm not saying that they're unintelligent. Just because you can't read doesn't mean that you're not smart in other ways, but you can't read. So if you are in a profession where you need to be able to read contracts so you know what the fuck you're signing in order to be able to get the money that you are working for. When you can't read, you have to depend on other people who can read and hope that they're going to tell you the truth. And guess what? They're not. They are going to take advantage of your dumb ass because you can't read. So English and math cover all the other subjects. There isn't even if you do manual labor, you have to learn how to do math. Try to be a carpenter, a plumber, even a roofer, and you don't know any math. Well, how are you going to know? How are you going to know what kind of fittings that you use that you need? How you going to know? You don't know math. What do you know about a quarter inch? What do you know about 5/8? What do you know about a half inch, 3/4? What do you know? So if you like are a boxer or entertainer or something like that, and you know not, first of all, you can't be an actor if you can't read. How the fuck you gonna memorize your script? You need to be able to read the scripts and you need to be able to memorize them so you can memorize your lines. There are no actors that can't read. None, not a one. You don't know how to read, can't be an actor. Most trades require that you have some mathematical knowledge. You have to know how to measure things. Math and English cover everything else. Let me see. Evelyn says, I agree. Teachers were dumb. And I ended up becoming a teacher myself, teaching the 3rd grade. I had a job at 6 years old. Ask me what kind of job. I'm interested. What kind of job? Procucio says, well, plenty of people wealthier aren't president. It's not as simple as that. What I'm saying is Donald Trump wouldn't have had a chance because nobody would have respected him as a politician. He's never been in politics. No other president has gone straight from being nowhere in politics to becoming president of the United States. No man has ever done that. People who become presidents are normally mayors first, governors first, senators first, congressmen first, something in government. Donald Trump was none of that and became president of the United States. So people voting for him is mind-boggling to me. Now people say that, well, that's the reason we liked him because he wasn't a politician. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. That is some dumb ass logic. Because name another profession where you would say the reason I want him to work on my car is because he's not a mechanic. Sounds dumb as shit. The reason I want him to build a deck on my house is because he's not a carpenter. The reason I want him to put a roof on my roof is because he's not a roofer. The reason I want him to wire my house for electricity is because he's not an electrician. But you got motherfuckers talking about the reason that I wanted him to be president is because he's not a politician. If that shit is stupid. And that's why we have what we have now. But they tell me, no, he's doing a good job. You just hate him because the media told you not to like Trump, and that's the reason you don't like Trump. I said, no, the reason I don't like Trump is because I can read and do math. All right. Let me see. Evelyn says, amen, math and English, that part. Propucio says, basics, yes, agree. But geometry, trig, lit, those don't apply to everyone. But yes, everyone should know basic math and reading skills. No, advanced math is important. I didn't think it was when I was in high school either. I found out how important it is because, like I said, advanced math teaches you processes of things. It teaches you how to follow a process of getting an answer. So it makes you smarter by making you figure out things. If you can understand what I'm talking about. Everyone says, right. I taught my parents how to read. Their first book was the Bible. Oh, that's nice. And she says, Tyson, the Iron Man can't read. Yes, he can. Tyson can read. I don't know who told you that. That's not true. Mike Tyson is not illiterate. Matter of fact, let me look that up. Can Mike Tyson read and write? Yes, Mike Tyson can read and write. Although he initially struggled with literacy, he was once considered learning disabled and dropped out of high school as a junior. However, he later significantly improved his reading skills, raising his reading level to the 7th grade within a few months. He has also demonstrated engagement with complex literature, including works by Voltaire, Tolstoy, Marx, and Dumas. I remember when he went to jail and he was reading about Mao Zedong, and people like that. So yeah, I knew he could read. But yeah, he may have had like a reading. He might have had a learning disability that went unnoticed or untreated or undiagnosed or whatever. You know how it was back in the day. You know, they would just put you in LD class, learning disability class, or special ed class, and just let you suffer. But if you had good parents, they wasn't going for that shit. But speaking of that, when Mike Tyson wasn't a good reader, why you think he was getting jerked by promoters like Don King? So Mike Tyson was making millions of dollars, but he was also getting robbed of his millions of dollars through contractual hiccups because he couldn't read the contracts. He didn't know what he was signing. He had to depend on people to help him out and hope that they were being honest with him, and they weren't. Evelyn says, Trump has the education of a third grader. Well, I wouldn't say that. He's not my cup of tea. for sure. Evelyn says, okay, when we were little, people made money by finding soda bottles to get the 10 cent refunds. Then we sold soda cans and old clothes. They came by to buy these things. Yeah, yeah, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. Will it feed your family though? Evelyn says Tyson don't know better at the time. Didn't know better at the time. They ran over him. Yeah, because people exploit people who don't know how to read or don't know how to understand. They exploit them. They rob them, and they don't even feel bad about it. Like shit. Okay, we back. We good. Yeah, they don't feel bad about them. They don't feel bad about. They don't feel bad about jerking somebody who don't know better. They figure somebody should have told them. It's fucked up, but that's the way the world is. So, getting back to what's a good reason to drop out of high school, I can't think of a good reason to drop out of high school. There are plenty of reasons why people drop out of high school, but not good. Not good. Evelyn says, well, his doctor said Trump had a third grade mind. You sure that was his doctor? Because his doctor be lying through his teeth for him. We about to get on up out of here, y'all. We about to do these birthday shout outs and then we gonna get on up out of here. You said my sound is getting low? Oh shit. Well, it's good that we getting to the end. So let's do this. Wait, what the hell? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Hmm. Mm. Okay. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 31st, last day of July, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are Special. They get the Respect. They are Special. They get the Respect. They are Special. They get the Respect. They get number one out the box. Kendra loves teaching. How ironic. And also Teron Harris, Cecilia Lesman, Algina Johnson, Cheryl Newton, and Wanda Walker, my girl Doris Williams, and last but not least, my old school chum, Zachary Harris. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 31st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud, just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock on and do the damn thing, you do the thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, just be happy for them. 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 Yo, they gonna ruin their life to be happy for them. Just be happy for them. Yo, they not going nowhere. Be happy for them. Yo, be happy for them. Yo, they playing they self. Be happy for them. Just be happy for them. Yo, they marrying the wrong one. Be happy for them. Be happy for them. Yo, they dropping out of school. Yo, be happy for them. Just be happy for them. They quit their job without a job waiting for them. Just be happy for them. Doing foolish stuff, got knocked up by a clown. Just be happy for them. Yo, 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 unprotects kind of going around. Just be happy for them. Yo, yo, mess around with their good health. Just be happy for them. Yo, they hit the lottery, spending money like crazy. Just be happy for them. Try not to hate all the time. Be happy for them. Just be happy for them. Bought a house, got a terrible deal on the house. Bought a car, got a terrible deal on the car. You don't want to sound like a hater. Just be happy for them. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another Daily Go Get a Mism show. So make sure y'all come on through. But we will be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow night. 1 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. On Fridays, we come on at 1 instead of 2. So make sure y'all come on through, man. Tomorrow is the music show. Y'all know we have a music topic every Friday night. That thing is gonna be hot. Let me do the poll question. The poll question was, are you able to support someone who you like or love when they do something foolish? 27% says no, it always leads to an argument. 73% says I tell them to be careful and just pray for them. Wow. And the other two didn't get no votes. I try to get in the way of them, or it usually leads to losing a friend. Yo, have a good night, y'all. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow, 1 a.m. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. I holla. Peace.